tell you that I think I lost my way. I know you're there behind the mirror, but the cracks, they begin to show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. It's been a while since we broadcasted, had a season off last season, but we're back now at Silverstone for Season 12, Round 1. Great to be back at Silverstone, nice and sunny out there, so our race director's done a good job setting up the session. We're a couple of minutes into qualifying. Like I said, been a little bit since we've been back, so just a couple of last-minute things to work out before we go live. Joined once again by Alice. Alice, great to have you with us.
Great to be back. It's been... it feels like forever and also like no time at all since I've done this, but yeah, got a good healthy grid, 23 GT3s, 15 hypercars currently waiting to go, and one of the old classic tracks. Silverstone is one of those, I think everyone has a soft spot for Silverstone in some aspect. It is definitely one of the larger tracks on the calendar in any situation really, but a good chance to just get some good multi-class action going, and generally demanding track, especially with like Maggots and Beckett's and Brooklands to Rutherfield. A lot of chance to make a lot of stuff happen and see just how chaotic it can get.
And always great racing, like I said, lots of opportunity to make things happen, and really high speed in qualifying. Get to see the cars on the limits, especially through here. Maggots and Beckett. You can see Adam Jarvis in the BMW this season, rolling through. It's an aggressive. You can see the lean on the car. Nice big GT3 field. We'll go through the AM Pro split when we get into the race, because in qualifying it's all about where you qualify for the grid. Obviously there are 10% points scored, that's compared to race points, so if you were to win 100 score 100 points in the race, the same qualifying position would earn you 10 points. So over the season there's nearly a full race worth of points to be scored in qualifying, so it is very, very important to get as high up. Those points are awarded based on your AM Pro split. But the most important thing is that grid position, and if you are in an AM car, you can get ahead of some pro cars, but that is always very helpful. So Adam Jarvis sets the second quickest time, and quickly move down to third fastest.
I expect these times to pick up. These tyres on the GT3s aren't as bad as they are on the hypercars, but you definitely want a little bit of temperature in them, so I expect these drivers to take 2 or 3 laps on a set of tyres. I don't know if we'll see any people reset. We have a slightly longer session than we did last time when we ran IMSA cars 12 minutes compared to 11. That's not much of a difference, but this long lap is probably going to be the deciding factor here. just given how long it could take to get around the track. So I would imagine we might see some drivers just stay out the entire time and try and just get a decent late run, low fuel, maybe with a bit more wear on the tyres.
And Venosi comes through, and that's a very, very good lap time. Apologies, some people have got Hammond Pro in their names on the leaderboard. We will get that sorted out for you shortly. The niggles of having new drivers in the series, so that'll be sorted. But very impressive lap at the moment. 4 temps clear at the top. It was more, but Emre's just solid into P2 in the Ferrari.
A lot of Aston Martins I'm seeing currently in the car split. Not actually been keeping up too much with the GT3s, but definitely a lot fewer Porsches than I was expecting. Only Gak, who just put the car in third overall right now, and Simon Bertolini currently yet to the lap time. Porsche drivers, that is like my go-to car. It just rotates really nicely, but I imagine on a big track like Silverstone, you'd want something with a little more beef and a little more control.
Yeah, I mean, Aston Martin very quick at the moment across most of the calendar, but the rear end gets very, very snappy on throttle, especially until you get sort of first and second gear, weirdly snappy, especially when you consider it should have the same engine and gearbox as the Mercedes, which displays different characteristics. But yeah, very quick and just a little bit snappy in the low speed stuff. Carlos Bowser shows us it's quick, as he's quickest at the moment, ahead of Matteo Ubertali. So 2 returning drivers, 1-2 at the moment. Nick Costenz in the BMW is an AM driver who currently is third on the overall grid, so very impressive effort in this early stage of qualifying. We're 7 minutes into what I believe, Alice, you just said is a 12-minute session, increased from last season with the removal of the LMP2. So we're just back to GTP and GT3 for this season. We haven't really touched on that, but we do have an AM and a Pro class in both GTP and GT3.
And now this is the part where it gets weird, because I used to have 30-minute qualifying sessions, which made it fairly easy to do time maths on. Now it's a 25-minute session. And all of my reference points are in the bin.
I'm going to spin her off in the background. I believe that was Simone Bertolini. Here it is from the chopper camera. Loses a rear end through turn 3. Just hits the wall, unfortunately, so damage doesn't look too bad, but does toe back, so we'll lose all the tyre temperature and have to go again.
Should have time to do 2 laps, I believe. 1 out lap and then 1 flying lap, so potentially just jam the fuel out. Weave as aggressively as you dare to try and get some heat in the tyres and go full send, but you do probably want a time posted. You don't want to be starting the back on a field this big, especially to be fair, Silverstone is probably not the worst place to be at the back, but it's still got 20-something cars heading into a narrowing bit of track. Everyone's going to be trying to take advantage of something going on. I found the best way to avoid the wreck is to be in front of the wreck. So don't put yourself in a bad position in qualifying. I don't think you necessarily need to be up front, but
We've just been away from the sort of back end of the grid where stuff's much more likely to go wrong. People are making desperate moves that can make such a difference to your race.
yes.
Well, I suppose Apollo got a little bit closer at the front, but not enough to challenge. Jose Espinosa gets a little bit closer. It's an Aston Martin 1-2-3 at the moment, so the car clearly working well around Silverstone.
Luke McCartney just throwing out a thanks, and I think he was in the wall, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Voice chat is disabled during
He's not happy about the car coming out of the pit lane.
That is unfortunate timing there. I don't know if that would be impeding or not, because like where else he's supposed to go as the car in the pit lane? That's really unfortunate timing though.
You're going to struggle to get out and set anything meaningful now. Carlos has improved in the middle sector, but 2 yellows and a green to go with it, so there is potential in this lap, but needs to find 4 temps to challenge for pole position, which is going to be really difficult. 2 minutes remaining, so by the time Carlos gets to the line, this is going to be his last lap. The next one, that is, sorry. So this will be now the last lap that he's about to start. So can he improve on this lap? Fortunately not. Oh no, sorry, does improve, but not enough to challenge for pole position. McGinn still very, very quick out front. Is in the Mercedes. In for an improvement. About to start another flying lap though, I'm sure, going through the final corner. Oh, and loses a rear end.
Huge step. Keeps
it in track limits, but that is going to be session over. The driver will only start in P16.
Does a good job keeping the car point forwards there. I'll give him credit, but obviously that's going to ruin the lap you were on, and then also you're trying to carry that through the line, so all of your momentum has gone to dust as well. So yeah, unfortunate timing on that.
Tiemann Scholten, currently the slowest of the qualified drivers, got more in it. We've seen it from Tiemann in the past. Towards the end of the lap now, just the chicane on the final corner to handle after this. No improvement so far from Tiemann in the first 4 sectors, so really struggling with this mech. Hopefully he had a sort of a scrappy last sector last time and he can find a bit more time. Will he cross the line just in time to start another flyer? That's going to be the question actually, I think.
No.
I think he did.
Ooh.
I think he might have got away with that actually. No improvement on that lap.
I will defer to race control.
We'll let them have a look at it.
I'm not convinced either way, but it was closer than I thought it was going to be when I definitively said no, so I'll take that for what it's worth.
Very much on the limit if it was in. We'll let someone have a closer look. Race control can of course go back and look at the replays in a little bit closer to us and look exactly when that car crossed the line. A little bit easier when the GTPs get out. iRacing does it for us, but not in this session. Alessandro Vannozzi looking to improve from P3 in the Asalith Lamborghini.
Lamborghini looks really aggressive every single time I see it. It's menacing. GTPs will let go at the same time. I believe that was an improvement for Vannozzi, but not in terms of position, unfortunately.
Nothing going to come for it, and McGinn is improving at the front a little bit wide through the final corner. Doesn't improve the lap time, but only 200ths off that. Sawyer's no improvement. Well, it is a new lap time, but no improvement in position. We'll start from 22nd on the grid. Improvement for Vincenzo, but stays P17. Melvin Gack across the line. No improvement for Melvin. Scholten now, the last driver. I think Race Control are going to let this lap stand, otherwise he would have backed off by now. Given a message. Across the line. Time improvement for Tiemann to get a little bit closer to the rest of the grid, but nothing significant.
Nothing changes and we don't need to worry about anything. The best results. Right, and now we have the fun one. We have 15 hypercars on track and no reason to worry about them for about 3 laps while they get the tyres up to temp.
Not as bad as it used to be, but it's not going to be quick by any means. People can hear my keyboard clicking in the background. Finish preparing our graphics package in the background.
We came prepared for this broadcast.
got stuck at work. I was planning on leaving on 5 at the dot and was hanging around for something to get sorted, and then got sucked into a little conversation with some colleagues, and then didn't leave till past 6. So pretty impressed I managed to eat before this, to be honest. We've got GTPs out on track. We've got GTPs out on track warming up their tyres. Brian Moiter, new to the series, driving the Porsche, number 921. Livery, going to be easy to spot. Goes deep though. End of the straight, just testing out the brakes.
Obviously, like these tyres, I did a few practice laps of Sebring yesterday after not driving the GTP for about 6 months, and I forget how bad the cold tyres are compared to warm. You just have like no confidence in anything you do. The car wants to skate out from underneath you at every available opportunity. It is a death trap, it feels like. And then the tyres come alive, and it's not as good as the Indy car, but it does feel a lot more powerful.
The grip difference is insane, and you kind of build up to it when you're first going out there, but I think the biggest risk for a lot of these guys in the race is if they do change tyres in the race, they're then going to come in and put on a cold set of tyres and go out, and you're just going to miss your braking zone straight away. The grip difference when you go from warm to cold, as you can see,
oh dear,
grip on cold tyres is not great. I think Brian will carry on almost certainly. Quinton is going to be our first driver to set a flying lap, perhaps unsurprisingly, because he was, I'm sure, using the old tactic of queuing at the end of pit lane. Slightly new livery on that Ferrari for Quinton, so a little bit shinier than I think it was in the past, looking very tidy. Vulcan Motorsports. Davide Aceto has set a lap time, actually, so he must have got out. Oh, not quite sure how that's where, maybe just in validation to the rest of the grid. Daniel P2, Alessio P3, Oscar now P4, Fabio P5, Pete Preen slots up to P3. But as we always say, well, Alice, I'm going to let you say, what do we always say about these first laps?
Literally nothing matters until maybe the last 2 laps. Tyres are cold. Grip is non-existent. Pace is non-existent. This is a podcast for the next few minutes. Granted, not too many more minutes now. The heat should be getting into them. This is a fairly long lap, so we should be getting representative times in fairly quickly. But until then, it's just a case of don't bin the car. You can definitely afford a few half spins, and maybe you can smoke the tyres a little bit, and you'll lose a little bit of the tyre life. But the temperature on the short run is going to matter a lot more than any real way you put on the tyres. You'll lose not even tenths, I don't think, like a tenth at max. Over the run, it might be worse, but this isn't a run. This is a 12 minute qualifying session. Just set some times like Quinton Verdonker's just done, and yes, that is a very fast lap time.
Very fast lap time, 46.947. Only driver in the 46s at the moment. Billy Maynard about to come to the line, slots up to P4 in the Amstel Racing Cadillac. You have a nice little tow here. I believe it looks like an Asalev car from where I can see. I think that's Davide Aceto. Daniel goes back up to P2. The Ferrari. The Asalev car. 0-0.
My number has been taken. Oh, curses, I will never drive this series.
Oh no, what are we going to do? Keep you in the commentary booth, what a shame. Albert Preem had some quick sectors, but only 14th in the end for Albert. A newly liveried Cadillac for this season. Schenstrop Racing Team. See on the side, apologies if that is incorrect. Improvements from everyone you can see on the timing board at the moment, including the current provisional pole sitter. A lot of names on the board that I would expect to be challenging by the end of this session, though, so don't count anyone out just yet.
Quick note on the class split, though. It's fairly even between Ferrari, Cadillac and Porsche. No Acura. And no BMW, which is... I think we had one BMW last time we were running. I can't remember who was driving it, though.
I think Albert might have been driving the BMW last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of Ferraris. Not quite as grippy as it used to be, but still a quick car. Quinton improves at the front, 46.676 now. Cadillac always great on the brakes, but struggled a little bit for overall pace last season. Porsche was very strong last season. 3 Porsches on the grid today, so we'll see how they shape up this season.
And worth noting meant to be the strong car in the class currently, based on what I've been reading from other people, but obviously this is a new season, so who knows what's been going on underneath the hood. Honestly, just pick your favourite GTP and drive it. That is my opinion on the matter. If you like the car, you will go faster in the car than compared to something else.
Couldn't agree more. Just be comfortable. That makes the biggest difference, and how it feels to drive.
That's why I'm entering the GTP category in the NASCAR Next Gen Toyota Camry.
If only you could.
I would get murdered in every single corner. And I don't think the power on the straights would be enough to make up for it, but it would be an amazing time.
Well, I'm driving the GT3s at the moment, but the first time I drove a Ferrari a couple of weeks ago, and being able to struggle to go back and drive anything else. It just handles so much more enjoyably, let's say. The front end actually grips up. It actually turns. It actually has a nice centre of mass. Just way more fun to drive than a lot of other stuff that's out there, unfortunately. So even if it's a little bit slower, I'll be driving that so I don't get bored for 6 hours. Quinton Verdonk goes back to the top. Oscar doing a great job though. AM drivers currently sit second and third. Worth mentioning for anyone that's new to the series that these driver classes are potentially going to change after a couple of rounds if race control feel like anybody is significantly quicker than their I rating would suggest, or significantly slower than their I rating would suggest. They can shuffle people around based on that. And also worth knowing that these drivers are now fixed into this car for the season. They can change if they want to, but there's a big points penalty that comes with it. You lose your last 2 point scoring rounds, and if you change before you've had 2 point scoring rounds, you forfeit the next 2 coming rounds as well. So you can change, but most of these drivers will be locked into this car now for the rest of the season. So big decision to make, especially when you don't necessarily have all of the information.
We've seen a fair bit of swapping from lower ranking. Oh good by Tringali.
Big moment for Oscar Tringali,
yeah, we've seen like drivers lower down the points where you're just driving for fun and swap around, but if you're contending for championship, obviously you want to keep your points, so expect to see a lot of these Porsches, Cadillacs, Ferraris kicking around for the rest of the season. And to be fair, I don't expect too much movement in the hypercar category. Expect if we're going to see movement, it's going to be in the GT3s where you've got a lot more options available to you. I imagine the Aston isn't all it's kicked up to be for a few of these drivers. Lower down, they might see a few more swaps. Probably 2 Porsche. I don't know why I just default to Porsche. It's just a nice car. But I think Porsche it's also nice like been historically the most popular one from my perspective, driving in low I rating lobbies in GT3 endurance splits. That and the Ferrari Challenge GT3 back when the Ferrari Challenge, like you got a GT3 car that drove a D class and was a GT3, so I think a lot of people just took that, then they made the Ferrari Challenge car its own thing, and I'm still mad.
Very odd decision from iRacing on that one. So
anyway, these times actually count, so we should probably care about Pete Pringensu's definitely putting a time together. I'm sure it'll be an improvement.
Across the line for Prins, is it an improvement? I don't believe so. Well, not for position anyway. Loving this black, gold and silver livery on the DLR Cadillac. But back in the day, DLR just used to run orange and white on everything, and you couldn't tell who was who. What a nightmare that was. Close field today though, 1.5 seconds across the full GTP field is nice and close. So it's going to be great racing, especially in that midfield. Alessandro Oh, we've got checkered flag. Apologies, we missed. That's come very quickly. It's because I'm typing away in the background trying to get a graphics package together. Quinton Verdonk is green, green, purple, purple, and will be looking to try and take pole position back from his fellow Ferrari driver, Tringale. Tringale, I don't know how we say that. I'm going to go Tringale with the first name of Oscar. Oscar, if I'm wrong, drop me a message. Get that sorted out.
I'm going Tringali because Italian, and I am definitely going to be wrong because of that. As a reminder, we are we're two British English people trying to pronounce continental European names. We're doomed.
Doesn't go well. It never goes well. Quinn de Verdonk can't challenge for pole position with a big slide out the final corner, unfortunately. Let's see, we still got out on track. It stuck me on a scenic camera, that's why it's not showing me anything. So Fabio, I think, will have just taken the checkered flag there. Brody has just crossed the line as well, P9. Ben still running. Find out. Yes, he is, into final sector.
And I'm seeing a lot of orange going on there, so I think Grunwald will unfortunately be at the back of the field. It's a very nice looking car, and it will have an equally nice look at every other GTP as they come to take the green flag.
Perfect timing. Just put together a list of drivers with the right classes. Whether their names are going to be correct is another challenge, because iRacing SDK has changed. We do name overrides. And it's now seemingly no longer an option.
Oh, fantastic.
It's going to be...
Well, as we wait for the qualifying to tick over, we get our 5 minutes preamble warm-up session. Importantly, it gives everyone a chance to load up the race setup. I've only done one race where I've loaded the qualifying setup into the race setup. Thankfully, it was a NASCAR race. NASCAR qualifying does force you to use full fuel, so I did kind of get away with it. But then I got wrecked out anyway because it was at Atlanta, and that track is a glorified pinball machine on iRacing. So I wasn't even punished.
Oh, we're cooking here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a timing tower.
My God. And cue the flight of the bumblebees, because everyone is trying to leave pit road at the same time. This is what we like to call the class unsplit. Everyone is directly on top of each other.
We normally get a few risky moves as well.
Yep. And like, if you're going to try them, I think this is probably the place to try them. Just you're on cold tyres on your GTP, and it probably matters more, but the GT3s are also on cold tyres. But you just sort of get an idea of where the limits are in the multi-class, because presumably a lot of these drivers, well, this will be the first time a lot of them have run, at least in this series. So you just need to sort of like get an idea of like how hard you can push and pull, and how hard you can push certain drivers. So just take a bit of a moment here, try and get some laps in, try and get past a few cars as well as you can in the hypercar field. Probably not be too indicative of race pace, but you can just sort of get an idea. Oh no, Groenveld, you've killed a driver!
Sorry.
Straight on the radio there from Ben to apologise.
That was an insane wreck as well, Espinosa. Probably gets a gold medal at the Olympics in some gymnastic sport for those flips, but my God, what a wreck to happen in warm-up at all things.
I'm working on trying to fix these names. In the background, everybody, apologies. Let's save that.
Right, everyone, this will be your weekly reminder. You'll get very bored of hearing this after a couple of rounds, but your race will not start under green flag. The race will start for each individual class when your class leader goes within the designated start zone. We ask that the pole sitter activate their pit limiter, so run the pit limit speed with the pit limiter on. From the exit of turn 17, that's the end of the Vale chicane. And what's the other one?
What's the other one? Says Andy.
And that
Is
the
he
race does not
disappears?
start on the green flag. All that rests me now is to wish you to have a nice race and enjoy.
You know it's been a while because Andy doesn't even know how to do the introduction. Have we just fixed those names? No, we have not.
Confidence for the season, doesn't it? Race director Andy Tatman is capable of remembering his opening spiel. You would hope. I talk a lot of smack, but I do not envy Andy's position. Race control can be very stressful, I find, especially when you're trying to get stuff sorted for getting penalties out on a reasonable time frame. Hopefully, we get a nice calm race, nothing goes horribly wrong, we can take our time with stuff, everything will be grand. And I don't have to descend into madness, which I normally end up having to do towards the end of this race, and towards the end of any race. That's probably why I'm in such a good mood. I haven't had a descent into madness in a while. At least not one caused by iRacing. Anyway.
Very sorry about these names. Trying to work out how I can fix it. Why can't we just keep software the same?
Because if we don't change software, we can't. The software developers can't justify their pay.
Turn it on and off again. Let's try that. Turn it fully on and off again. Potentially the solution. Killed it. Reopen it in a second. This did fix something yesterday when me and Andy were messing around. I can't tell if that's better or worse.
Well, I do currently have
Yeah, we're going to get rid of that.
There we go.
But we now have... Okay, it had pro in front of everyone's names, and now it has pro in front of some people's names again. Ay.
My apologies to Martin June, who has just been running to Pro June.
And my live timing has killed itself, so this is going great.
Well, you have one short pace lap. It's not even a pace lap, it's a pace 4 corners. Had to actually count them there, that's quite embarrassing. I forget how short the shorts formation lap is at Silverstone. You have no time to get heat in your tyres around here. Which does mean it's going to be a little bit hellish going into turn 1 for some of these drivers, and now I'm a little bit worried for Gronveld starting shotgun in the field, because I can see as some of these drivers not quite aware of how much grip they have just because there's no real way of knowing. And obviously, if the wreck happens in front of you, it can be a little bit challenging to get out of the way sometimes.
We've got a potential temporary solution. We're just going to show surnames.
Oh yes, my favourite driver, Van der.
Can't have everything. Tringle gets ready to... Oh, he's an Italian flag. Tringale gets ready to start from pole position. I'm going to go with... or is he? Can't remember who's on pole. Swinging around. We didn't go through the grid because we're trying to fix our problems in the background.
Tringale leads for Donk, Van der Velde, Pajaro and Ocheto in the GTP. GT3's Francis McGinn leads Cosmo, Zapuya, Venosi, Espinosa and Kamaldar, your top 5. And for these 14 GTPs, it's going to be very difficult to get a good getaway because you've got no time to weave, no space to weave in, and you just have to take this green flag on a cold set of tyres. Tringali will lead them to the green on that pace limiter. It's not on the green, but whenever Tringali decides to fire off, and for the first time in a long time, the green flag flies. The start zone is not there, because it's actually somewhere along here. Finally we're underway for the first race of the season, the National Racing League in forever.
Yeah, over a season away, Tringali leads well into turn 1. We're packed up in the background, but no one off just yet, which is always great to see. Brody Maynard making a move up the inside into turn 3. Our GT3 cars are getting ready to go as well. So we'll cut to that. Our leader coming into the start zone now. Nice and packed up behind. We've got the 3 Aston Martins, all from the same team on the left-hand side as we look at it, right-hand side of the grid. Francis McGinn makes a great start into turn 1. Clears the field even before we get through. No contact further back. 3 wide though. To Batali. Watching the cars in front of him battle, he'll be looking to pick up something. He's avoided the chaos behind with 3 wide still behind, and we're getting bumped off the road. No, we're not. We keep it on. We've got a spinner ahead. Oh, and Boo has lost his connection. We're going to come back to... Apologies. Here we go. We're back to live racing.
Off as well. Stephen Bertolini, GT3 car backwards off of Aintree.
Take a look at what happened to Bertolini. There's a car coming back on. I think he got a little bit spooked, kept the power in, and goes spinning, keeps it out of the wall crucially for Bertolini. Maynard on the offensive here. We're going to go and show you class set 1, which is all of our drivers on the same thing, because we've got a pro driver leading the field in GTP. Sorry, an AM driver leading the field in GTP.
Yeah, this class split is going to be looked at by race control, because if Tringali is able to lead this field, there's a lot of pace in that allegedly AM driver, and that might be reconsidered.
That'll be a talking point after the race, I'm sure, if he finishes where he started. Obviously good pace in qualifying. What's the race pace like? Oh, deep in the background there. Brody Maynard still on the offensive. It's 9th position overall. We're still nice and packed up in both our classes. Luca Picardi was trying to make a move there on Dubu ahead. Oh, Dubu making a move on his teammate in the other BMW. Can't make it stick around the outside, and that's going to get Luca Picardi back at the inside. There's a brave move in the final corner. 2 wide. The Aston Martin goes off the track, trying to make sure there's no contact there. And Picardi has to tuck back in behind. Scholten asking for it to be looked at. I think that's a different incident though, so I'm not sure what that was specifically.
I think that was behind.
Can't see anything on the tracker for Team and Scholten at the moment. We'll come back to you if we do. Alessandro looking to defend against his teammate who's right on his tail there. That's Fabio Ciambella. Ciambella maybe. Someone correct me if we're wrong. 4 Absolute Motorsports cars in a line here. We'll probably be looking to work together. Maynard trying to make a move behind there. Oh, there's nearly contact. In fact, I think there was contact on the exit between the 83 and the 00. Sorry, Alice, go on.
It's hard to make a move there if you're not properly alongside, because obviously you just carry so much speed sweeping around the outside of the corner there. If you've not got a proper racing room side by side, you just have to concede so much momentum trying to pull yourself alongside an entry that you just don't have on exit, and that outside car can just pull away again. Still no major drama aside from that 3-4-5 section on that first lap for the GT3s as Maynard gets it down the inside nicely there. Lots of Preem.
So we can have full names, but now the barrier is really long. The block is really long. So we're going to go back to last names as I continue to try and sort this out. Maynard now on the defensive with Preem looking to try and get through. But a car off in GT3. Mark Hagale has recovered. Not sure what happened. I think it was this instant here.
Maybe
goes
using
off?
the entire
Ah,
track. No, just
I
lets him
think he had
through.
a slowdown to serve potentially there. Would be my guess. Nice little pack here at the back of GT3. We go back to live images. Apologies. Whoa,
Huge stack of
really compressing up into turn
cars.
4.
That's when it gets dangerous, when you're this tight. If like, the car in front of you has a wobble, unless you're immediately on the anchor to try and get out of their way, you just end up going straight through them. So you need to be so careful racing in close quarters like this, but oh, it looks dramatic. And so it has a half look around the outside. You can see the car in front just trying to offset, trying to maybe look for a half dive, and Obdendries just had nowhere to go and sort of stalls out Stignito as well, but has to stay behind for now. They'll spread out a little bit coming in towards Cop, so no real danger of anything crazy happening here. And no traffic as of yet. This is a very big track, so these GTPs are going to take a while to catch up to the train. And to be fair, this train has maintained quite well. These GT3s have stayed close to each other throughout the run so far, so it will be very challenging for the hypercars to get through them in one piece. Stignito still stuck in 18th place here.
Ooh, little dive there from the Mercedes in front. That's Matthias trying to get past Diego.
Obdendries. They're close together. It's very challenging to make a move, it seems like right now, and that you like, because this is just such a power track for a lot of these cars, are sort of very balanced in performance. Like, you don't get enough of a run to get properly alongside someone to force them offline to really have a chance of making a move. You can maybe get half of a move going, but that's not going to give you enough leeway to really get someone like offline enough to make a move. So you're just sort of like in this train. There's a lot of straights, there's a lot of good chance to just get aero pull, try and keep close to people, but I think actually overtaking someone's going to require a lot of bravery on the brakes. I think we might, no, because you can just sort of tell you're just going to run out of time and space before you get there, so you end up backing out of the move early. Oh, is that car off? Yeah, Tiernan Scholten was off. So Stignito tries to make a move around that, so that's not going to really work out.
Team in ahead, goes deep.
Back. Yeah, just misjudges the corner. Just about gets the rejoin in one piece. Yes, Stignito just falls back behind. Holstein and Van der Ven have been nose to tail for a few laps a bit further up the field.
Vincent is under investigation. Not sure what that one is.
Giving it a shot. And that might have been the one where Schultz just drove off, and I'm not sure why. I think race control are going to look at it and go, oh, nothing here.
I think what race control have probably seen, if anyone that's not aware, we use iRace control for our stewarding, so I think race control have potentially just seen that incident and trying to work out exactly what happened. And they'll have seen that it's flagged up as multiple drivers involved in an incident, so that is probably why that's been flagged up by race control.
Oh, Espinosa's pitted.
Early stop, but could do it on one more from here. Alice, do you want to explain? Oh, moment there for Mercedes.
Obdendries. It felt like the cork in the bottleneck for some of these cars. Definitely could have been holding a few people, so that'll probably free them to try and move up the field. Unfortunate for Obdendries, but yeah. Yeah, in terms of pit strategy, I'm assuming the fuel numbers on the cars haven't changed. We were in the reduced fuel tank here. The idea is you can run 25 to 28 minutes normally probably pushing 28, especially in like this big a draft pack that a lot of these drivers are going through right now. So expect 2 stops for all these drivers, and what that normally ends up being is a stop at 20, call it 7 minutes, and then one at 54 minutes, and then you just take whatever you have to the end. We have seen on a few tracks you can get a 1-stopper on these fuel numbers, but that ends up being very rare, and sometimes drivers try it and they end up bailing out of it. But obviously you can also do the reverse strat, as I believe Espinosa is trying to do, where you pit early. And I don't know if this is going to work out, because you do sort of lose the draft if you're on your own here.
Catching the lap traffic now, the leaders. And this
You've
is
sort of
Fabio.
got the stragglers of the GTP pack they're picking through. A few of the drivers have fallen off the back of the pack.
Got a spinner
I
ahead.
believe started
Can
from
see
the
the
pit lane.
smoke.
Oh dear. Oh
Oh,
dear.
rejoin. Is that going to open up the opportunity for Fabio Ciambella here to make a move on his teammate? It is not. Both survive. Let's take a look at what happened to Vincenzo Stagnito.
On the defence.
Under
The fact that it's
investigation.
under investigation gives me some indication that something funny is going to happen.
Big send there.
Late
And then there is
dive.
contact.
Ugh.
It was alongside though. Race control, have a look at that. Kind of
Wait,
inclined
and
to
then
say a bit of a
here's
racing incident.
on the track from there, despite being... Oh, Tringali and Van der Velde had a little bit of a tangle up there. Van der Velde's been forced off the track.
Rejoining now. Doubt the pro
Not
driver is
too
going to
happy
be
about that
very...
one.
Yeah, doubt the pro
Yeah.
driver is going to be very happy about the AM driver. Let's try and take a look at what happened.
Catching...
Goes up the inside. He's ahead now, you'd have to say. Tringali... Oh, I think that move was not really on.
I don't know if it's a move or if, like, Van der Velde tried to close the door and, like, he just left the car behind nowhere to really go at that point. I'm not sure. I would hate to call that one. I'm going to leave it in the capable hands of race control, because I don't need to worry about that. I just need to worry about the outcome.
Side by side in the back of GT3 with the hypercars trying to get through.
Yeah, they've
Sebastian...
caught the main pack now, so this is going to be battle for lots of these drivers. Diefenbach needs to have eyes forwards and backwards here, and especially going through Magnus Beckett, that's a very terrifying prospect.
More close racing here with some hypercars about to try and come through as well. Bumper to bumper through the chicane.
Yeah, Van der Vet and Volkstein have been very close so far this race in the opening running. And I do mean very close. I'm fairly sure they might have traded paint at some point, but happy to run in the order they are currently.
Racing incident for that contact that we saw, which is I think what we probably expected. Whether the rejoin will be looked at is another question.
Cars going all over the place now.
Donk makes a move on Tringali up the inside, makes it work through the traffic, the experience showing for the pro driver. Probably one of, if not the most experienced driver in the Anstel Racing IMSA series, and it's side by side again with Tringale and Van der Velde, who this time gets through. I think Tringale...
Whoa! Donk can't hold it together, just about keeps it pointed forwards, but getting very racy in the opening round here.
See if you can see what happened to the... Oh, Verdonk on the inside, trying to make a move there for the lead of the race. Somehow keeps it pointed in the right direction.
So, Diak Fajardo, I'm definitely butchering that name and I will apologise. Leads Van der Velde, leads Verdonk, Tringali and Ascetta, your top 5. But an AM driver once again in the lead of this race from 2 different AM drivers lead so far, which is very promising. And just look at this traffic, absolute bedlam, because you know all these hypercars are also trying to race each other as well as get through these GT3s.
Absolute chaos. Never seen so many cars on one bit of a road. One of the GT3s dives through the pit lane. I think that's a smart move to get out of this, to be honest. You lose a lot of time in the traffic.
Umteli and Keldar both take that. Oh, Keldar got black
Meldo's
flag.
got a black flag on pit entry, unfortunately.
I believe that would just be speeding on entry. And that is not an Ansel racing thing, that is an iRacing thing, and that means you're going back down the pit lane next time by.
Martin Hoon trying to make up some positions in the traffic. Time penalty for car number 13 for causing a collision. Try and work out who that is for you. Tringale, is that? I believe that is Tringale. It is.
Yep,
Oscar
is.
Tringale, the pole sitter, been given a penalty.
Oh,
Perhaps unsurprisingly.
hip check there, and one of the GTPs, excuse me, goes flying off. I believe that was Lucignoli. Lost the
Take
name
a
for
look what happened here. Brody Maynard on the attack.
Oh, Brody. Oh, Brody. No.
Oh, lock up from Brody.
Yeah. Just a solid hip check, forces the driver off the road. Gains the position. I just don't think race control are going to look too kindly on that one.
Got to have a go sometimes. He's now all over the back of the next car, and actually we're all bunched up in this little field. It's Alessio Lucignoli, followed by Brody Maynard, followed by Daniel, whose surname I'm not even going to try and pronounce, followed by Albert Preem. We're going to call him Mazza, that's what it says on his name then. So let's go with Mazza.
I don't see the issue here. I also certainly mispronounced it, but I digress. Oh, Martin Huden has had a bit of a spin in 16.
Cameldar's cleared that black flag. Let's take a look at what happened to Hoon. Very close to the grass on the entry. No one around him though.
It's not this corner, it'd be this next one coming up. A lot of cars in front, but too far away, just overcooks on entry, spins the car in, and the Brits just not having it.
Melvin Gack has just passed Adam Jarvis for 19th place. Good run through turn 2 and turn 3, makes it easier in turn 4, gets down the inside. The move is done.
I always hated overtaking, even multi-class, going 3, 4, 5. It just feels like you have to give so much room to the cars around you, and you sometimes just end up losing a ton of speed because of it. Ooh, a little wobble left the car in front of Preem, who just sneaks down the inside. Good advantageous move there for the Dutchman.
Mazza down on the defensive now again from Preens.
Space in front to work with though, doesn't need to worry about the car misplaced. I think the hypercars are going to struggle with the same thing that GTPs are going to struggle with, in that unless you have a massive run.
Reporting Pole 1, Carlos Martin on lap 9, Max Leggett.
Oh, hello.
On entry.
Oh, Sakura Uchiman has been spun. There's a lot of stuff that's just happened in about 10 seconds.
Take a look at the spin here.
People
GT3
have a look.
heavy on the brakes.
Last corner, Daniel, car 0-0.
Oh yeah, he just got turned by the
Just gets
GT3,
drove through
yeah.
by a GT3 of all cars.
I think offline coming in meant he didn't have much exit speed, and the GT3 just went, well, get on with it, mate.
Anyway, fun
Really how it
thing that's
works.
happened. Who took the black flag earlier for speeding on pit entry?
I believe the first report was for Cops Corner. As far as we can tell, that was netcode contact, and barely any of them.
Okay.
Kemeldar, you remember he got the black flag for speeding on pit entry? Matteo Battaglia has been given a drive-through penalty by race control, causing collision on pit entry and causing number 32 to speed.
Ah, we missed that one.
I saw them both enter pit road very hot. I didn't realise there was contact.
You go.
Here it is in a replay, and yep, that would cause you to speed on pit entry.
Just bump your rival through the pit lane. No worries. It's all settled down a little bit at the front, but GT3 drivers don't know what that means, and they're still going at it. Lap after lap, 20 minutes into this one. It's great when Andy sets up the session so it's nice and sunny. It's so much more enjoyable to watch. Martin Youn's had another moment. Same section of the track as well.
Yep, he's going to go a little deep, and he's carrying too much speed. It's close that time. You can just about get it turned in, but I think just a little realised too late that he was going to go off track. Tries to adjust a bit too much, and then loses the rears again.
See a couple of people showing up with crashes, so I think something's happened in GTP, including Davide Aceto, who goes for a spin.
Oh, that's a terrible place to have a moment.
Oh no!
John,
Albert Preem and Pete Preems both get caught up in it. It's going to bring those drivers into the pit lane. Bang on 20 minutes is the time to do it, though. They're going to have a fast repair to use. So Preem and Aceto will both be able to come in and use the fast repair to clear that meatball flag. Black and orange flag means you've got to pit for repairs. Yeah, it's big damage. They're going to have to crawl back to the pit lane now.
Aceto's struggling to keep it on track. Is trying to wheel it round, which I can respect, but sometimes I think you just need to
Right, rejoin from the 00 car, the hypercar from lap 10, or is this a separate incident?
It's a different one, yeah.
We'll check that one as well then, okay.
Aceto really struggling to keep it on track, I think, here. Oh, yeah, there you can see it.
That's not a race car, that's a rally car. I
Not
just
a bad
realised by saying
idea.
that I have called rallying, not racing, and I will apologise, but also, like, what the fuck?
Well, he's got it through Maggots and Beckers, and it's kind of worked. There will be a slowdown to serve, but given the damage to the car, I don't think that's going to be a concern. Preem is in the pit lane.
Take the off track, and it's probably faster and probably safer, I guess.
Until I rushed home, I just felt my sunglasses are still on my head. Okay.
As long as you're not wearing them, I think that's acceptable.
The stress is that
Boo
bad
comes
that
into
the
pit,
stress
which
headache
is a
is coming in.
little early than you would expect in the normal strategy, but I think at this point you'll start to see a few GT3s start to filter through. Felix Manzanado. I definitely butchered that one again, I apologise. Also in. And presumably a few of these cars are just going to start to filter in over time.
There's a 15-second time penalty for somebody. Not connected to race. Yeah, I would assume so. I'm not connected to race control today, which is very irritating. Didac Fallardo into the pit lane from the race lead for the first scheduled stop of the day, should we say, for the primary strategy, which is normally, oh, we got a spinner on the main straight. That's Jens Soyers, I believe. You just saw that in the corner of your screen. Let's see what happened. Behind the Lamborghini in front. This is a downside of the Aston. Keeps it out of the wall, though. Well done, Jens.
Well held. And unfortunately, really bad place to rejoin because you need to end up on a very fast bit of track there to get that car pointing forwards. So definitely terrifying. But Trangale, Van der Velde, Fajardo all in. Martin Schoen also in. Donk, Ciambella, Lucignoli, Prines, Muta all stay out so far. Pardo with a black flag though. Didn't see that come up. I imagine that's going to be speeding as well. Oh, and we've got another one. So they just keep coming up.
Yeah, so what we were saying briefly before all that's gone wrong is
Oh.
Fiado, your race leader, gets a black flag, which is now being cleared. Not sure what that's about.
Yeah,
Trying to work out
I
how to
imagine
pick
that's
that
going
up,
to be
actually.
speeding, but all the
In the- in
GT3s
the
are
pit
coming
lane
as
for
well, which is a little
minute and a
earlier
half,
than I
which
would
is
have
a long
expected
time.
them. Yeah.
Anyway, so that was the first scheduled slots for people on what you would consider the primary strategy, which is to go sort of between 20 and 25 minutes. And then that means you sort of split into 3 relatively equal race stints towards the end. You can do what we would consider the alternate strategy, which would be to pit after 10 minutes, which is sort of what Brody Maynard did. And then you do 2 longer stints after that, but you get out of the chaos and the traffic, so there's potential to gain by sort of getting yourself into clean airs and putting some good laps in. We'll see how it all shakes out once the first pit cycles are done. Daniel into the pit lane with another meatball.
I meatball?
Yeah, I don't know what's happened
Oh,
there.
it's a little bit of a mess. Once again, we've got a rally car.
Oh no. Oh, into the back of the GT3,
no.
brakes, the front right suspension.
And a
Further
follow-up
contact,
hit.
yeah.
Oh man.
It's going to be race over. The Mazadan. Tringale leads. Again, somehow. After all of that. Back out front. Well, apologies for that. We've got racing in GT3, and we're all over the grass. I think we're going to be too wide, at least down here. BMW
Backs out of
backs
it.
out, yeah. Bump drafting in the Mercs.
I'm not convinced you want to be doing that in a... Oh no! Goodbye, Dries.
Keeps it just on the road.
Now, obviously, like, I have a bit more of an oval background than a road background. I know that, like, bump drafting in the corners in Daytona is, like, not recommended.
I wouldn't recommend bump
drafting
drafting a GT3 anywhere, to be honest.
I've never heard of bump drafting at Stowe.
Yeah. Off camber, high speed corner in a GT3 car. Let's go bump drafting, people.
It's challenging, let's say.
Greens and June going at it a little bit here. Another great livery from DLR. I didn't even realise that was Pete Preens when I first saw that car today. A gold or yellow, I guess, depending on the sunlight. And green
Yellow with the
DLR.
yeah, the British
is
Racing
great.
green, yeah.
Loving that.
I suspect that car might become an Aston Martin whenever iRacing finally gets the... I don't know what the hold up for that Aston Martin is at this point, but either way, there is a hypercar in the works. Allegedly, it might come out at some point.
Melvin Gack on the back of Espinosa.
Took a
Very
huge
experienced
back curve
driver
there.
now, Melvin Gack, in the IMSA Racing series, that is. We're not giving a shout out to our new partner as well for this season, Premier Racing Setups, joining us.
I thought there was going to be more of a...
There was going to be
spiel.
more of it, but I've forgotten what I was going to say, so we're going to come back. And there was something else I was meant to do. There was something else I was meant to do.
Welcome back to Anti-Store Racing, folks.
So-
We never left.
Premier Racing are going to get 2 shout-outs today, so we're going to be very happy with that. Melvin Gack chasing on the back of Espinosa, and we've got a fight behind as well. It's Juan Carlos trying to get past Adam Jarvis, and this is going to turn into a little one in turn 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think. Sticks his nose in the Merc, but turn 1 is not the place to do it. It's high speed. Do not try and go side by side through there. in a GT3 car and might have shown his cars a little bit too early there because Jarvis has just pulled ahead enough to survive turn 3.
You get enough of a toe to maybe get half of a run. You can maybe stick a nose and try and spook someone, but getting the full run is very, very demanding indeed. Lines, I think, gonna have to settle for trying to stay behind here, try and get a decent run through Luffield, through Woodcott, and maybe have half a chance through Cobbs, but Silverstone 2021 in the Formula 1 World Championship will live forever rent-free in everyone who watched its head. Thankfully no replay.
That's what I was going to say. We've been asked to nominate someone for the Hard Luck Award from Premier Racing Setups. So Alice, let's start thinking about that. I'm trying to work out who it would be. So if there's been too much going on, but I've not really decided who my nomination is going to be just yet. Probably a GT3 that's been punted too few many times.
We do enjoy a good GT3 punt here.
This is a great little battle between these two here. Potentially an opportunity here for the Mercedes. No, not yet.
Jarvis able to hold on for now.
Donk looking to make a move for second place out front. I keep getting very confused. Martin Yoon just has a permanent yellow flag on my race control screen. And just following him around the track, even though there's nothing wrong. So, that's all irritating. Quinton Verdonk.
I think these two drivers are going to catch up. Tringali is currently in a pack of, GT3s. I think Van der Velde and Verdonk are going to catch up to here as well. And that's going to be your opportunity to start trying to make a move. It's where we saw some of the earlier overtakes in this race as well when Casper Rutmana got through into... no, it was Fajardo, wasn't it, that was in the lead of this race earlier? My apologies.
Please Sandy check.
Picardi not happy about something?
Not for the first time today. Is this a potential nomination for the Hard Luck Award? Still try to think of my nomination.
I don't like how many cars have been marked as under investigation here, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, big send.
A day later,
Facing
$1
off.
short, I believe.
Oh, Martin Yoon just avoids them. More cars banging doors behind as well. That was Vincenzo who made the move. So what happened behind? Luca Picardi. This is just a rejoin, I think. Rejoin of sorts. Oh, we got too fast approaching hypercars behind through a high-speed corner. This is going to end very badly, isn't it? No, it isn't.
I think he's going to be fine, actually. Just drives off, yeah. I think at that point, like, you're in a reasonable enough place going through that no one's going to really complain about you being there.
This is the opportunity
you've got enough pace.
for Quinton Verdonk, I think, as Agale passes Espinosa behind. Cardi's been black flagged. Oh, 23 instant points. That's an instant point penalty.
Oh my.
There for Verdonk, even perhaps lost time there. In fact, he did lose time there.
Now all quiet on the western front of the Verdonk and Van der Velde have made their way through the first round, or at least the round of traffic. I don't know why I went with the first there. Okay, I need to break that one down. That is a 5-second penalty for the 3 car. And this is the problem, I don't really... They changed the way iRacing displays numbers. That's Vincenzo Stagnito, yeah.
So that's that contact with Picardi, I think, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And he... because, yeah, and then Staccato did try to wait for Picardi to recover, but obviously you need to get off the track at some point. Oh, Verdonk! Oh, I was always going to get the back of the Van der Velde there, but does just stay behind. Might have a dive, it'd be half a move there. I thought he could maybe get a little brave on the brakes, but... Nope, we are just staying in line here. A lot of racing incidents being declared. Donk. Oh, Tringali pits. It's a little off sequence, but I do think I know you can get to the end of the race on a full tank of fuel from here. Should be a fairly short pit stop in the grand scheme of things. Considering you wouldn't need to put that much fuel in the car.
It was a
But you
0.1
could
second
definitely get to
stop.
the end.
No, it wasn't. What's happened here?
That car looked like it was on its jacks. I think your timing software might have had a bug.
Yeah, I think that's bugged out.
I have Tringali 35, 53. I might bring this down.
It's showing two
53.
pits. It's showing 2 pit stop times for me. So it must have, that's why it's bugged out. Okay, yeah, 21.8 seconds in the box, 53.5 down the pit lane.
Was also on the jack, so some number of tyres taken as well. And obviously, with tyre temp being a concern some of these drivers might have, it'd be interesting to see what the lap times are as Verdonk finally has half of a look. Hard to really tell what's going on with that. It's rather weird off-board camera.
Jaromir in the chat saying that Peter Prin's livery is inspired by Lotus, but the first iteration looked more like a John Deere.
I do forget Lotus exists sometimes.
Vincent looking for a move here. I'll make it work. Is this GT3 going to help him out here, though? Backs off to try and get a better exit here.
We just can't get the run on exit. Just gets a little bit stalled out. Probably trouble getting the power down. Gets caught in TC or a little bit of wheel spin. And just has to watch the car in front pull away. Van der Velde.
Was he going to get a move? He's going to get a move. It's deep for Van der Velde. Verdonk is
Ooh.
alongside. Can he stick it out around the outside? Has he got the grip in the front axle Ferrari? Oh, and there's contact.
No.
Big contact.
Oh, Van der Velde hard in the wall. Might still have a fast repair. Has a rough rejoin to make as well. Does get away with it.
I think Van der Velde's only got himself to blame there.
Like, at some point, like, Verdonk is just going to run out of track, and Verdonk is not going to just back out of a move like that, especially when the overlap is there. Like, at some point you have to respect the car is on your outside and will pit maneuver you to not get pushed off. I think Verdonk was strong-armed into making that move, and it's unfortunate racing, but I don't think Verdonk is going to worry about it too much. Currently has a 7.5 second lead over Shambella, and will happily drive on from here.
Brady Maynard leads the AM class at the moment. Obviously, we've got a couple of drivers, including Tregale Pitt, out of that class. See what happens when we get to final stage of the race with those pit stops. Carlos Bozapoya is into the pit lane from second place. Francis McGinn from Scotland, running the Scottish flag as well. I've not seen that for a while in the IMSA series.
Yeah.
It's its first
So
in GT3.
We'll give a quick word to McGinn, who's been doing an excellent job because we haven't had to speak about him the entirety of this race. Like, has just basically led for the entirety of the race, as far as I can tell, pitted a lap later than everybody else as well, so he's doing a really good job on the fuel number, from what I can tell as well. So expect that car to come in the last of everybody, get a tiny amount of fuel, and is probably going to win this race unless something outstandingly stupid happens. But as we all know, this is the Additional Racing IMSA series. Stupid stuff just happens on a whim.
Alessio Luciginoli on the back of his teammate Ciambella. The donk now 8.5 out front.
Dagnito, the GT3 driver there, you can see just get letting the GTPs round them. There we go. It's fine. It's the first day back for me as well. I'm not to flub words.
It's fine. We all need to get back in the groove.
Tringale has gone sideways. I don't like the lack of cars. Oh, he's approaching a GT3, so maybe something funny does happen. Remember, the tyres are going to be a little bit cold here. They might be temp at this point. I've lost track. That's a bit of a deep dive. I understand what happened. He was just in a bit of a hurry to try and get past the GT3, because as soon as you're committed to that move, like, emotionally, you're like, I have to make this move, because otherwise I'm going to feel bad about forcing this GT3 offline. And sometimes you just overcommit. Prince and Muta are in a bit of a race here. In the GTPs. As Van der Velde comes into pit lane a little earlier than I would have expected as well, but again, if you pit now, you're definitely good to the end. Stringale and Cheto also close on track. Hagel pits in GT3s. Again, earlier stops. I would expect cars to pit past the 50-minute mark in this race on the air quotes normal strategy, what we've seen a lot of drivers do over the course of this series. Van der Velde's been spun coming out of pit lane. I think that was Starling de Boo involved as well. Don't know if Van der Velde might be on cold tyres here. Just trying to maybe make a move. Just a little optimistic. He's alongside this GT3.
Oh.
And I think that might be a little bit of miscommunication between drivers. I think the GT3, de Boo thought the Hypercar would move to the right side, trying to take the space where the GT3 is. And has caused some issues. Drive-through penalty issued by race control to Daniel Katirunamata. That was definitely mispronounced. I will apologise again.
Mazadan.
Unsafe rejoin.
Don't know which incident that was for, but
The lap 10 incident, if that means something to someone.
if only it did. If only it did.
Juan Carlos Martin having another go at Adam Jarvis. But again, these GT3s, I think this is an issue I've talked about multiple times before. Making a move in these cars is hard. At least in a vacuum, if you have traffic, it becomes a little bit more doable in some ways, but on your own, you have to generate so much of a run. Anyway, here's Melvin Gack presumably exploding.
Overtaking for position on pit exit is what that is. Melvin Gack goes to the overall podium. He's currently leading in AM, by the way, by quite a healthy margin.
Oh, I'd like to apologise for jinxing Francis McGinn, who's not in the lead of this race anymore. Has pitted, actually. So I don't know what this strategy is, and I'm very interested to find out if it works out, but I thought this would be one of those races where the leader just pulls off into the distance and we never hear from them again, but no, chooses to pit a little early. I don't know what the strategy actually is, but...
How many stops has Brody Maynard made?
I don't know. I don't have that information currently available to me. I should definitely change. A lot of stuff is broken in the off season. I've had to remake my overlays, and I've apparently set them wrong, so I can only see current stint length.
Battling with Aceto right now, and I think has come out about 5 seconds. I'm just trying to make a move on Aceto now. It's come out. Oh, can't make it work around the outside though. Has to back off a little bit deep. It's come out about 5 seconds behind Tringale by doing that alternate strategy where you do the early pit stop at the beginning of the race and then do 2 pit stops later on. Sorry, your longer stop later on, the longer stints, sort of later rather than earlier. Turning to what most people do. It seems to have worked out quite well so far. Oh, that was the wrong button. There we go.
The entire style just changed before your very eyes.
See, we're so adaptable, we can change the style, we can do anything, we just can't get people's first names to show correctly. We're all over it here at Anti-Stall Racing.
Flashy Rodriguez chasing down Stalling to boot. Not for position in category, but obviously, like, you see a car in front of you, you want to overtake it. It's just nature for a lot of these drivers. Obviously, Rodriguez wants to get to Kirsten's, who's 8 seconds up the road. Meanwhile, Carlos Martin and Jarvis are still at each other's throats.
Brilliant angle there. Hypercars.
And there goes the 2 GT3s with the hypercar very much in tow.
We've done a whole session without going to the 10-second time penalty for car number 84. Who is that? Diego Palcio Rodriguez, time penalty for a GT3 hitting a GTP. That's for this instance. Let's take a look. It's not for this, is it? It's for this. Oh, it's this one. Here we go. GTP was penalised. GT3 was penalised, sorry.
I can't really fault that. Oh, Fajardo has been spun in the final chicane.
Jack Fajardo. GT3 teammate ahead of him, so this is going to go well. Down the inside of his, I'll say it again, teammate. On the exit. It's a carbon copy.
No.
It's a carbon copy of what we saw earlier on.
It is the 2 cars close together. The front one gets a small bobble, and the car behind has no reasonable reaction time. And everybody explodes. Still, Jarvis holding on to 3rd place for Pro. Let me see when these 2 last pitted. I believe they would need to come in again to finish this race. McGinn, who has ended up in front of them, does not. Insane work by the Scotsman, I will say. All I can hope is that there is enough fuel in the car to make it to the end, because if he doesn't win this race because he short-fueled it, I am going to be so sad. Oh, Bertolini in the wall, out of turn 1, or turn 3, excuse me.
Seems to have gotten away with it.
Side by side.
Look what happened to Bertolini. Seen this go wrong already once today for Bertolini.
Oh, no. Just loses it through tunes. Enough damage to carry on, certainly. Or
Oh, contact
what the
Albert
hell
Preem
happened
and Van der Velde. What has happened? Van der Velde ahead. How has this happened? I am very confused. Van der Velde spins.
Yep.
Preem stops, then gets going.
Fair play for Preem. Doesn't cause a further issue.
That was Quinton Verdonk out front. Quinton Verdonk is the overall leader, by the way, as well as the class leader.
It's just a nice, quiet lead now. How has he got a 30-second lead?
I think he's
What's
not pitted
happened
again.
here?
He's not pitted again. Pete Preens has pitted.
Has Pete Preens pitted? I don't think Preens has pitted either. I don't think Rita's
Preens
pitted, and that would
shows
actually
two
explain it.
stops on my thing.
I have him last pitted on lap 15. And Shambhala and Lucignoli have pitted on 27 and 26 respectively, which is where the actual gap would be then,
yeah.
and why I'm so confused. And Preens, we're not one I've seen from race control before, causing collision under yellow flags.
I'm not sure what that's about. What's happened to Sebastian Diefenbach? Into turn 1. GT3s are pretty difficult to handle through turn 1 and 2 today. Same problem we're seeing for the Porsches. In an Aston Martin, not surprised to see it in this car either. Keeps it out of the wall.
You could see him just chasing it in both directions, but the grip never returns to the car, and fortunately, well, Tefed does avoid the wall, so I think you take that for what it's worth, in that you do just get to keep driving on here and get to feel pretty decent about that.
Chingale chasing after Groneveld. This matters, both of these drivers in the AM class.
Preens finally pits, as does Muta. It's not going to get a very... oh, it's just Donk. Okay, yeah. So now we get to see what the actual delta ends up being for the lead of this race. As Donk is in pretty heavy traffic right now, lead down to just over 3 seconds.
Yeah, Chambella's done a great job. Moment for Brian Mutter off track, is carrying on now. What can Chambella do through the traffic?
I think Verdonk lost a lot of time to some of these cars that looked so
It was
terrifying
close,
on that
dicey.
view. You can see the traffic has really hurt Verdonk now. That gap now under 2 seconds, just about.
Chambella much more efficient and brutal through there as well. Is going to catch up to the back of Verdonk. He carries on like that. A little bit of a gap now ahead. A couple more cars, but not a big pack for a while.
Obviously, everyone at this point, I believe, has taken what should be their final stop.
Side by side, finally Juan Carlos Martin finds a way past Adam Jarvis. He'll be looking to strike back. What's happened to Didac?
Fajardo.
Oh, too much speed. Rear's going to over-rotate and go round. We've seen it so many times today. Avoids the worst of it by keeping it pointing in roughly the right direction. Preem looking to make a move on Preens ahead. Van der Velde's been picked up a black flag behind.
Based on the fact that it's in pit lane, I'm going to imagine that's speeding on pit lane.
I've cleared that black flag.
Yep.
Ferrari's doing
Just
well.
got
here.
one eye. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Yeah, just a sea of Honses leading this race in GTP Pro. Well, GTP overall. Tringali leading in the M category. And 123 Pro Ferrari leading.
Gavin
Aston Martins
asking,
haven't fared as well. It's a pretty decent mix down in GT3s, but yeah.
Gavin asking in chat how you join the league. If you head over to the link in the description on the website, you can grab your entry there. If you've got any further questions, head over to the Discord, also linked in the description, or you can head over to our website where the Discord is also linked if you want to come and join and get in chat. If not, just head straight over to the website and buy your entry, and Andy will get you all sorted out. Very easy process. There is a drop round in this season, so you can miss the first race and join, and you're at no disadvantage as long as you participate in the remaining rounds.
Hagali and Ubatali getting a little bit racy in GT3s. As Ronimena trying to carve his way through. Shabala's got that lead gap down to under a second with just over 3 minutes left in regulation of this race. The race for the lead is going to get very spicy very quickly as we get the offboard of Brody Maynard.
It's its second in AM. Brody Maynard. Not a bad start to the season.
Not likely to catch Tringali on current pace, but
No, we have seen Tringali very, very quick today. You'd have to say a couple of mistakes. See where it shakes out in the next 5 minutes, or 3 minutes now. It's closed down towards the end of the race, and Jambale is doing what he needs to do to take away that lead.
I don't think we've had a proper race for a first place in a while, have we?
Oh, the
we're
dog
not
spins
getting
in the
one.
final corner. Jambale avoids it just and takes the lead off the road, but it won't matter. That is the lead. The Dong feeling the pressure has dropped down to third
Brian
place.
Mooch has been murdered. Just to cut away from everything. Like, there's no other
Whoa.
description of that. I'm sorry.
Take another look. Rear-ended by Pete Preens, sent flying off into the wall. Brian Muta, potentially the new nominee for the Hard Luck Award, because pretty unlucky with 1 lap to go.
Because I was literally about to say, I might be considering going to Verdonk because I think I might have just given him the worst commentary curse I think I've ever given anyone in any game I've ever commentated. And then you
Verdonk got on the sausage curb. He got on the sausage curb.
Yep, we seen it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a commentator's curse. Maybe we will have to feel sorry for him instead.
Do I get 2 Hard Luck Awards, George? Can we come into Huntington?
I think we get 1. We could
I-
carry it forward to next week. Some of that unfortunate. Pete Preens picked up a black flag from that contact though, because it pushed him over the instant point limit. Not that that'll matter to Brian, who had to tow right at the end of his race. Just 1 lap to go in his first race at Anti-Stall Racing, so unlucky to not finish the race.
I think I'll have to give my apologies to Verdonk, but I think I know who wins the Hard Luck Award in my view anyway.
That incident's under investigation, unsurprisingly. Got a car stopped
Oh,
on the start-finish straight.
Diving back.
What has happened there?
It's all gone to bedlam in the last moments of this race. There's 10 seconds left.
It always happens,
And all
doesn't
hell's
it?
broken loose. I suspect this one is going to be self-inflicted, and I can't say too much because I've done the exact same thing
Oh,
on
hits
that
the sausage while trying to correct.
corner. Yeah.
That was lucky.
And I will say, Diefenbach has done better than me because when I did that, I ended up in the outside wall. So, fair play. Diefenbach is last on track as far as I can tell, so doing a good job of not getting anyone in his way here, and we'll at least finish this race. I don't know how many points you can get for this race, but take them where you can get them. There's Ubertali getting a little wheel-to-wheel with Groenveld there.
Well, Ginoli's not going to let it go. On the last lap, he's taken nearly 7/10 out of his teammate.
What happened here? We're going to have a dash to the finish. The checkered flag is going to be flying for these
Is he
two
out
as
of
they approach the
fuel?
line.
Maybe. Because it's a lot of time to lose. It's not just in one place, it's consistently across the lap. He's going to go for it on his teammate. Is he? No, shows and knows. Just threatens it. Hoping for a Verdonk moment from his teammate. It's not going to make it work, but it's going to be a 1-2 through the final corner for Absolute Motorsports Asalif. A 1-2 for the team in the first round. They can't complain about that. Verdonk will come home to finish third. After that spin, Tringale will take the win in GTP AM, followed by Brody Maynard, who's 15 seconds down the road. Carlos Bozapoya comes home second. Venosi comes home third in GT3. And I'm just trying to check. They are all pro drivers. Melvin Gatt currently has the lead in AM by a fair amount. He's got a car behind him, but that's a pro car. Melvin Gatt takes a win in GT3 AM. Maynard takes a podium for P2 in GTP AM. Albert Preem come home to finish 6th overall and 4th in class.
And by nature of going one extra lap, Francis McGinn has in fact won the race in GT3 Pro. And it's one of those quiet races where you don't say anything about someone and they just win.
Yeah, very impressive performance from Francis McGinn, also known as Pro McGinn, from earlier in the day. Only 10 seconds when it came down to it ahead of the next car, but will be a lap ahead when all is done, beating the overall leader to the line.
I think Timon Scholten is still active, as is Michael van der Ven, Bolkestein, Bertolini as well. So a few
Again,
drivers
going
yet
slowly.
to...
Has the fuel run out?
That would be the funniest outcome. It doesn't actually matter because
The fuel has run
just
out.
because of the. Are you kidding me?
I don't know what happens here.
McGinn still wins the race on having finished
Good race, everyone.
the lead
Good
lap
race.
first. It's just,
Fabio
it's just
Alessio,
the
complimenti,
saddest
bella
way
gara.
to win a race.
He's not going to get over. If he can get over the peak, if he can get over the peak, he'll make it. If he can get over the peak,
This
it's
is an active
downhill.
request to any driver who, for some reason, has the broadcast open. Please push.
Dai, un
Melvin Gack is coming up behind.
GTP a tricolore.
Can you give him a
Bravi,
little push?
Like,
No, he flies past,
has
thinks I'm
driven
going to win the
a-
race. And Groeneveld coming up
McGinn has
next.
driven a fantastic race and deserves to see a checkered flag. Please don't let it end like this.
Picking up momentum as he comes down the hill, but he's going to try and get over the bump again, and I think that's going to be difficult. He's on the radio asking for help. Car number 13 is coming. Who's that? Oscar Tringale.
That's Tringale, no. Tringale's going to the pit lane, no.
Who's next? Number 44 is coming up.
Alessandro Venosi. Oh, this is the
Will he
saddest-
push his fellow? But he might make it. He's gone over the hill again. He's going to get a helping hand. He might get a helping hand. We were going to cut to an ad, but we're going to wait for this to shake out. No, he drives past. Again on the radio. Number 23. Who's that? Who's next to disappoint McGinn? Who's going to try and make it to a line? Steven Sholton goes to pit lane. That's going to be it. There's going to be no assistance for McGinn. Don't shake the wheel. You're going to kill the momentum. Come all the way to the right. Shorten the run. He might make it.
So,
At about...
Mattia, you hit number 32 under braking into pit entry, and because you hit the 32 under braking in the pit entry, like just before the pit entry line, they went.
He's gonna do it!
Speeding,
Yes!
So
Francis McGinn is your race winner in GT3 Pro. Makes it to the line. Well done. Car number 9 wins the race.
You also got the drive just to sort of balance things out, basically, because the actual collision was not bad.
Well done to Francis McGinn. We're going to be back in just 1 second.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one. Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval.
Okay, we're going to run you through our results, and our race director is going to be very impressed when he sees this. GT3 AM was won by Melvin Gack, 11 seconds ahead of... This is going to be difficult, guys, can I just say? And I'm going to throw Alice in here at some point, because this is new names. This is going to be difficult. Ahead of Nick Kirstens for K&B Sim Motorsports, and 25.999 seconds ahead of Diego Palcho Rodriguez. Mateus Opden... Need to fix these names, because this is going to annoy me, because I can't see who that is. Mateus Opden Dries finishes in 4th place. Michael... Oh, this is going to get annoying, isn't it? Michael van der Ven finishes in 5th place, ahead of Simone Bertolini, Luca Picardi, Vincenzo Stagnotti, and Jens Soyers. 18 laps down, will not score points. GT3 Pro, your race winner, eventually was Pro McGinn, also known as Francis McGinn, ahead of Carlos Bozapoya, Venosi in 3rd. Manzaneda makes up your podium ahead of Martin, Jarvis, Debu, Hagale, Ubatali makes up your finishers within a minute of the leader, although it's a little bit skewed because we got some McGinn. Anyway, we're not going to cover that again. Ubatali, in 9th place. Bolkstein in 10th. Espinoza in 11th place. Diefenbach in 12th place after a couple of poor moments. And Kamaldar in P13. GTP AM was won by Oscar Chingali, who had pole position overall. A couple of poor moments, unlucky moments maybe. I'm not sure. We'd like race control shows moments in the race. When he didn't win overall, but did win in class. Brody Maynard doing that alternate strategy, 15 seconds behind at the end. Ben Gronevel completes the podium ahead of Pete Preens, Diego Fallardo, Brian Mutter, and Mazadan 4 laps down. And take it away, Alice, with GCP Pro.
Hell, after an absolute chaos of the final few moments, Fabio Shambhala does manage to hold off teammate Alessio Lucignoli to make it an absolute motorsport ace with 1-2. Quinton Verdonk, unfortunately, having the worst commentary curse of all time, will still hold on to finish in 3rd place, ahead of Albert Preem, Davide Aschetto, Stefan van der Veld, Tierman Scholten, and Martin Hune, Pro Hune, whatever you would like to call him, will lightly round out, GCP Pro, albeit 8 laps down, and I think actually out of points paying distance there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so, unfortunately. So that's our results. Andy, it says round 1, season 12. I'd like Amy to see that as well, because I always get called out when it's wrong, and it is correct again. And for Hard Luck Award, I can't decide whether it needs to go to McGinn now, because he didn't really get to celebrate that win in another way, but also he still made it to the line in the end.
No, McGinn made it to the line and got a pretty decent moment on. Like,
That
it's
is fair
not
enough.
how you'd want to celebrate the checkered flag. You still get the checkered flag and you still get a
Still
decent
get to win
clip
the race.
out of it. Brian Muter bloody exploded.
Yeah, let's give it to Brian Muter. Getting rear-ended with 1 lap to go, 2 laps to go in your first ASR race. Brian Muter wins the Hard Luck Award for today's race. Okay, I think that's it. But before we go, and once again, should have prepared this, but we're just going to run you through the calendar for next season. I'm getting chats in the broadcast chat. Andy reminding us to do the award. We'd already discussed it. Clearly, you are not listening in, Mr. Race Director, to what is going on the broadcast. Probably for the best most of the time. And still racing, IMSA Series, Season 12, Information Channel is what we need to know. So we've got a break week next week because it's a 12 hours of Sebring on iRacing, so all of our drivers can go out and do some prep for that on the build-up to the race at the weekend. Then we're back for another race at the Red Bull Ring. Red Bull Ring, always a banger in the End Still Racing IMSA Series. Loads of lead changes, always great fun. Normally some interesting strategies as well at the Red Bull Ring. Then we've got another break week for the Road America 500, although I believe it's now been moved from Road America to a different track, potentially. But anyway, for that IMSA Classic event. Then we've got a double header, Monza and Interlagos on the 16th and 23rd of April. Then a break week with 24-hour of the Nordschleife. Then back for a double header, Barcelona, Le Mans on the 7th and 14th of May. Then a break week before our double header to finish off the season at Road America on the 28th of May. And on the 4th of June, we're going to Hockenheim and we're doing the outer layout, which is great fun. You skip the final sector with the Vettel hairpin and you go straight flying through, and it's such high speed and it's such good fun. It's going to be great for racing into that final corner. Going to get lots and lots of overtaking. Francis McGinn pointing out on the broadcast, his name is Pro McGinn. Yes. Yeah. We're going to try and sort it. iRacing Live Timing changed the format and you now can no longer easily adjust that. So we will try and work that out for next time, everyone. All right. Thanks to everyone that joined us. And we will be back in 2 weeks' time for another banger. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit subscribe and join us next time. Hit like. It really helps out the channel. And come and join us in the Discord for more updates. And anybody that wants to race or join their friends who are racing today, grab an entry on the website or head over to the Discord for some more information. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Alice, for joining us. Thank you to the team in the booth, and we will see you in a few weeks' time.
I don't have the words to tell you that I think I lost my way. I know you're there behind the mirror, but the cracks they begin to show. future.